Today, we're going to be filling up another level of our 50-car garage. As you can see behind me on level 1, this is reserved for the special edition vehicles. These are vehicles that they've been releasing on the drip feed. They come out for 1 week, then they take them away, and you can't get them again. Who knows in the future if they'll bring them back? I'm sure they will. But for the most part, they're limited release, so I want to fill up this entire floor with limited release vehicles, and I'm going to be customizing them to look exactly the same as their advertisement. So the pictures that they advertise it with, that's how they're going to be looking. Look at that beauty. The level 2 in this garage is actually going to be moving. I'm going to be moving this. I have an empty like warehouse or garage over near the airport. I'm going to be moving all these over there. If you guys are familiar with my channel, I do a lot of Cayo Perico. I do guides, the fastest, easiest way to do it. Just some fun like spin the wheel where the wheel decides how I have to do the entire heist. All things like that. And I thought since I do the heist so much, I should have a floor dedicated to Cayo videos. Cayo vehicles, I should say. And yeah, no, this is sad. This is pathetic. You can't get the supply truck in here because it's Merryweather only. It's just a disaster. This we're going to be moving out to bring in some more vehicles that'll be coming up soon on the channel. Level 3. Now, this is a video that I actually made about a week or 2 ago. This is my top 10 Benny's vehicles. Now, I will leave this video linked at the end of the video and in the description, so you can watch this after the one you're about to watch if you want to see my top 10 Benny's vehicles. This one actually had a fan favorite, which was this one down here, and I actually did a video specifically on this one too because it turned out absolutely gorgeous. But that's what my level 3 is, my top 10 Benny's vehicles, ladies and gentlemen. And anyway, let's move on to level 4. And here we are in level 4, and as you can see, it is empty. This is going to be all about our video here today with you guys, which is our top 10 Southern San Andreas Autos vehicles. That's what we're going to be filling up in today's video here. But first of all, we need to change this because it looks a bit boring. So if we go to our interaction menu, Eclipse Boulevard, you can see here, we can customize it. So let's go ahead and customize this thing. So this is what Immaculate looks like. And I think this one could look better for the theme we're going for here with the San Andreas Autos. Obviously, the one we did with the Bennies, it was a dark theme. It was actually this one right here, which looks like this, and it kind of works for the Bennies ones because they're expensive, you know what I mean? But I think for the San Andreas Autos, we should probably go for Immaculate. So let's go ahead and purchase this one. And there we go, negative 137,000. We have purchased it. Now, if I go to the accent colors, we can change all the accent colors here too. But for now, we're just going to keep it as is. And I may, at the end of this video, we may change this back to the dark theme like I have in the Bennies, because it may just look better. But for now, this is what it is. So ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get our first car, which is going to be my top 10. And keep in mind, this is my personal top 10. This isn't the top 10 fastest or the top 10 armored or anything like that. I will be doing videos on those in the future, but this is just my personal favorite. Top 10 Southern San Andreas. Sorry, it's a tongue twister, okay? I apologize. Southern San Andreas Autos. Okay, I guess it wasn't that much of a tongue twister. So started off at number 10. So what type of Brit would I be if I didn't have the classic Mini Cooper in my top 10? So this is my top 10. I'm going to purchase it right now. We're going to take it for a spin and we're going to customize it so you guys can see what it looks like and then throw it in the garage. All right, guys, and here she is delivered. We're going to be taking it into our own auto shop here to customize it, but let's just take a quick little look at what this thing's like. Custom or stock, listen. Tell me that doesn't sound sick. Listen to it. This thing's a little beast. Absolute little beast. I wish it was daytime, but some of the cars you'll be able to see in the daytime anyway, because I'm sure this is going to take a while. Let's go ahead, take this into our shop and completely customize it. And I'm also going to be giving you guys a cost breakdown, so how much they are to purchase, and then what it costs me to do the full upgrade on it, and then what it is in total. So you'll know exactly how much it costs. So here she is before, and here she is after, ladies and gentlemen. So for this car, I didn't go too crazy on it. I actually wanted to make it, I mean, I would have been super happy if I could put the Union flag on top of it. You know what I mean? The UK flag right on top would have been perfect, but you couldn't do that. Then I would have preferred to have just a white roof, like most of the Mini Coopers had, like the Mini Cooper S's back in the day, just had a white roof. Couldn't do that. So the checkered one is as close as I could go. The racing stripes are a bit too close together. They need to be wider apart. The wheels are as close as I could get. Let me throw a picture up on screen what I was going for here. This is like what I had in my head before I went into it. And I think we got pretty close. But anyway, here she is, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take her out for a spin and put her in the shop. And it's daytime. So here she is. This thing, it's so cool, man. I've never driven an original Mini Cooper like this, but I've definitely driven Mini Coopers. But let me actually see if it sounds any better.
Listen, baby. You the only reason for me.
Still sounds good, man. Still sounds good. But yeah, I had to go for white wheels just because the silver, it didn't look silver enough. And these don't really look that white, so it works out. But here she is, ladies and gents. Let's have a little listen. It's stupid. It's stupid. But you know what? I love it. What type of Brit would I be if I didn't have a little Mini Cooper in my collection? You know what I mean? And this thing is just tons of fun. Tons of fun. All right, let's put her in the shop. This is my number 10. All right, so there she is at number 10. The total cost for this build, the vehicle itself costs $360,000. The upgrades cost $242,000, bringing the total cost of this car, if you wanted to do the same thing that I did for yourself, to just over $600,000. It's $602,000. All right, let's move on to number 9. So in my number 9 spot, that is right, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Albany Hermes. Now, for those of you who've been playing GTA for a long time, I'm not just talking about GTA 5, I'm talking about going way back. You will know what this car is. This one, I think the first time it ever came out was in GTA Vice City, and it was called the Cuban Hermes. And when you used to see this car, it was just like, oh my god, that thing's sick, I've got to drive it. I'm pretty sure it was also in like GTA 4 and San Andreas. I can't remember exactly, but I know it was definitely in Vice City. So ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead, purchase this bad boy. As you can see, the cost is $535. Let's see what this thing looks like before and after. And here she is, ladies and gentlemen, the Albany Hermes. So this is what she looks like before. You already know what I'm going to do. Let's be honest with ourselves. So here she is before, and here she is after, ladies and gentlemen. If you didn't think that I was going to do this, then you're out of your mind. But here she is, completely like murdered out with the flames. I changed the wheels to make it match the original OG Cuban Hermes. And this thing, it just holds a place in my heart, guys. Look at it. Look at it. I didn't really like any of the grills they had. I wanted to kind of keep it original like the old ones, but they didn't really have anything. And this actually isn't as low as it would go. This is literally, there's 2 more steps lower than this. And I'm like, nah, I didn't even like the look of it. Let's have a listen. Oh, well, yeah, and I also put the red. You can see how the ride height goes up, and then when you stop, it goes down. I also put the red neon lights just on the sides, though, not on the front or anything like that. I think it would just look better. Excuse me, Dom, I'm busy. On the sides. So let's take this thing for a little spin. Oh, you didn't see anything. So as far as driving, it drives about as you would expect. The brakes are also, I've fully upgraded the brakes on this thing. But as you can imagine, they're pretty goddamn awful. It's just the style of the car though, man. It's not exactly a street racer, is it? Let's put her in the garage at number 9. All right, so there's 10 and 9. Let's talk about the cost. So to purchase this vehicle, it was $535,000, and then if you want to fully upgrade it the way I have, that was an additional $230,000, bringing the total cost for this car at $765,000. All right, let's move on to number 8. And here we are at number 8, ladies and gentlemen, the Vapid Dominator GTX. Now, no one can argue that this car doesn't look sick. Obviously, it's based off of a Ford Mustang, and it just looks incredible. Let's listen. Yeah, it sounds sick. Is it the best muscle car in the game? No. Is it one of the best looking? Like, as far as modern ones? Yeah, look at this. Look at those lights, man. The Vapid Dominator GTX coming in for some customization. I'm not quite sure what I want to do with this yet, but we're going to make it look good. So here she is before. And ladies and gentlemen, here is our Stormtrooper. I decided to go with white and black. I didn't really know what color to go for with this thing. Obviously, we could have gone like a bright color. Would have probably looked pretty cool too, but I just really like the black and white. I don't own any white vehicles, so I just kept it the way it is. We put some tire stickers on there just to make it look a little bit better. Let's see what this thing sounds like and take it to the garage. I mean, it looks pretty good, not gonna lie. So here she is. Obviously, it is nighttime, unfortunately. It's taken so long to do these, but listen. I mean, this vehicle... Hold on, let's have a rev. Jesus. This vehicle, I mean, it looks good. It doesn't handle great. But look at that. You can't argue that that thing doesn't look good. Am I going to drive this vehicle around all the time? I don't know, but I do like the look of it. It feels heavy. I'll tell you that much. It definitely does not feel like a car that I would want to drive around a lot. Like you turn in a corner again, feels like you're in a boat. Yeah. But it looks good. Let's get her in the garage. All right, and here she is in the garage. Looking good with this white garage, though. It does look good. The white on white, the black, I like it. I think it looks cool. Okay, so anyway, let's talk numbers. So if you want to purchase this vehicle for yourself and upgrade it like I have, to purchase this vehicle costs $725,000. To do the upgrades like the ones I've done to this vehicle, it's $229,000, bringing the total cost to just under $1 million at $945,000. Now, unless you really like the look of this car and you think like, oh, I just love it, I'm in love with the look of it, I just want this to be my daily driver. If that's the case, then go ahead and pick one of these things up. But other than that, it doesn't drive great. It's in my top 10 because I think it is gorgeous. But I don't drive a lot of my cars. I probably drive one or two of them, and that's about it. I just like them. They're like artwork, you know what I mean? This garage, to me, there's history. Obviously, we got the Mini because it's, you know, my British roots. And then we've got this thing, which is just, again, brings me back to Vice City back in the day. It holds a place in my heart. And then you have this thing, which is just gorgeous. All right, let's move on to number 7. All right, and here we go at number 7 is the Vapid Ellie. Now, this thing, obviously, it's gorgeous. Old school American muscle. Obviously, growing up in the UK, I'm not sure exactly what variant, what Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3. I don't know. I know it's an old school Mustang, though, and I couldn't not have a muscle car in my garage. Now, this thing, in my opinion, is one of the best looking ones, and it's also on sale. So what an idiot would I be if I didn't go ahead and pick one up? So let's pick up this thing. Here she is, the Vapid Ellie muscle coming in for some customization. Now, you already know I've got a muscle car in my top 10 Benny's vehicles as well. And it is black on black. And I'd be lying to you if I wasn't thinking about doing this very similar. But what are we going to end up with? Let's find out. This is the before. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that red. You see how it just pops? Like in some areas, it's going to look like it's black. And in some, it's got that nice red tint to it. I love it. I love it. So, did you think I was going to go this? Or did you think I was going to go black on black? Listen, we already have a black on black muscle car. I wanted to do something a little bit different. And I thought this thing looks sick. So, let's see what this thing sounds like. Take it for a spin and take it back to the garage. All right, so obviously we've got the front exhaust on this thing, which just looks like an absolute menace to society. Let's see this thing spit some flames. It's just stupid, man. Look at this thing when you're driving it. Oh, God. Mental. All right. So yeah, it sounds good. It looks good. It's an absolute menace. Again, it's one of those vehicles. Would I personally take it out driving? Not really. It is fully upgraded. I don't put turbos on my cars typically just because I don't like the way they sound. So this one does not have a turbo. Look at those flames, man. What an absolute... What is happening? Oh, man. All right, let's put it on in. It's still sick. Still absolutely sick, man. Okay, so here she is in the garage, ladies and gentlemen. So... total cost on this, if you want to build something like this yourself, the car itself is $339,000. Fully upgrading it, as I have, is an additional $206,000, bringing this car up to $545,000 if you want to do it for yourself. All right, let's move on. Ladies and gentlemen, what fun would it be if you don't have a truck? You know what I mean? Tell me this isn't just a gorgeous truck. I think this is styled after the Toyota truck. I forget the exact name of it. The TRX. Can't remember. But anyway, we're going to be building this bad boy. This thing, 250 grand. And I can't wait. And to be completely honest with you, I could keep this thing stock. I mean, this thing comes looking pretty sick as it is stock. Nothing spectacular. But we're not going to keep it so. We're just going to drive on over people. The bloody suspension on this thing's so massive. All right, let's go ahead and do this thing up and see what I have in mind. The Vapid Contender under SUVs. I think it looks sick stock, to be honest, as you guys know. But I have something in mind. If you guys have seen, like, the new 2023, like, Cadillac Escalade V, whatever it is, they're like 700 horsepower. They look sick, and they look good with red and black. So I think that's what we're going to go for here. So this is it before. And ladies and gentlemen, we took off the back, like the little caddy roof or whatever you call it. I don't know. And this is what we have. It's kind of ridiculous. It's not quite the color I was going for, but I couldn't really find anything. I messed around with it. But this is what it looks like. Let's go see. I also put a turbo on this. You guys know I don't usually put a turbo. But I thought since this thing's so big, we got to see what it sounds like. Oh, he's not. Look, where is he off to? It was so big, he couldn't even turn out of here. All right, so here it is, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not quite sure if I like the red around the wheel, but I did put a turbo on this thing too. Let's have a listen. So you can hear the turbo. I think it's kind of... I don't usually put turbos on, but I thought, you know what? Why not? So this is what it looks like. It's not fantastic, but I absolutely think this is one of the best looking trucks in the game, if you're going to have one. Tell me it doesn't look sick. All right, there we are. We've got ourselves a truck, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take it back. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's gorgeous. I'd have this in real life, you know what I mean? I think it's sick. Just the red on black. I think, yeah, I like it. I like it. So anyway, those are my top 4 or top 10. The bottom part of my top 10. Now we're going on to my top 5 vehicles from Southern California. Oh, no, it's not. Southern San Andreas Autos. Let's move on to number 5. And in my number 5 slot, ladies and gentlemen, this thing is just... I mean, come on. We've got to be a little bit silly and stupid here. These cars just be all perfectly amazing cars, you know what I mean? So 378k, we have the DeClassy Tornado Rat Rod. Let's go ahead and send this over. DeClassy Tornado Rat Rod. So here we are as the before. And in 3, 2, 1. All right, and ladies and gentlemen, there she is. There was a few changes we could have done, like to the engine. We did get the side exhausts. We could have had different, like, airflows in it, but we didn't really want anything like that. So this is what we've gone for. We did change the front wheels to black. You can't change the rear wheels, obviously. And I changed a few different colors, but I feel like this, like, dark green almost looked best because you can't get the rust off it. So that, like, dark green with almost the rust color, I think just looked best. So let's go see what this thing does now. It's crashed into the wall again. What is going on with these drivers, man? They can't just drive out of here. They keep crashing into my bloody walls. Okay, so let's see what it sounds like once you get in. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. All right, let's see what this thing sounds like now. Let's see if we can accelerate with this thing. See if it makes any difference than earlier. Are you ready? Oh, yeah, baby. Jesus. Okay, so you can probably understand by now that I kind of like just weird, unique vehicles, right? Because let's be honest, we're not going to be driving all of these vehicles all the time. So I like my vehicles to be like a piece of art. And that is exactly what we've got here, ladies and gentlemen. It's just a piece of art. Would you own this in real life? I'm sure if you won the lottery, maybe. But this is the vehicle that I've gone for. And believe it or not, like I say, this is in my number 5 spot. I just think it's sick. I mean, everyone's going to be showing up, driving around in all these fancy sports cars. You pull up in this thing, it's just so much cooler. It's so much cooler. I'm sorry. All right, and there she is, ladies and gentlemen. If you wanted to purchase something like this for yourself, the base price of this vehicle was $378,000 plus about $168,000 in upgrades, bringing the total cost to 546,000. All right, now we're getting into our top 4. These are vehicles that are actually really decent. They're vehicles that you can definitely use daily. And let's start off with number 4. And in our number 4 slot, we have the Ubermacht Reinhardt, ladies and gentlemen, coming in at 1.6 million. One of the more expensive cars, but also one of the newer cars. This is obviously based off of BMW. I'm not sure if it's the 3 or 5 series. Do they have the M3 sedan? Or sorry, the wagon? I'm not sure. I'm trying to think. I'm not sure. But anyway, let's go ahead and build this thing and see what it looks like. So like I say, the Ubermacht Reinhardt. The Ubermacht Reinhardt. Now this thing to purchase, obviously as you saw, was about 1.6 million. So let's do this thing up and see what it looks like. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This thing looks sick. This is the first car I have in my collection that has the metal finish. I just think it worked best with this. But I think this thing looks sick. I actually really like this. I went kind of like the M style exhaust, like the M3, the M5. I was going to say unique, but it's not unique. But if you see like an M3 or M5, the exhaust looking just like this. So we didn't do anything crazy, no side exhaust or anything like that. But I would love this in real life. What do you guys think? I think it looks absolutely sick. I put on the surfboard on top because I was going to do like, there's like a roof rack you can put on there. It just didn't look great. But the surfboard, don't ask me why. I just thought it looked sick. And I think this car looks sick. I could have done it without anything on the roof. I think that would have looked really good too. But this is what we went for. Let's go see what it sounds like. Oh, yeah. She's a beaut. She's an absolute beaut. So, unfortunately, it is nighttime, so we can't see it too well. But look at this thing. I think it looks... My head's coming out the side. Look at that. What the hell bloody hell's going on there? I think it looks absolutely incredible. So let's go ahead and see what it sounds like. Sounds good to me. Now, like I said, this isn't a supercar. This isn't from Legendary Motors. Most of these vehicles, like the Audis and the BMWs and things like that, like the replicas the GTA has, most of them are inside of Legendary Motors. This is one of the only ones that isn't. This is one of the only ones that is actually in the San Andreas Autos or Southern San Andreas Autos. So for that reason, I would say it's pretty decent. I'm not sure why they put it in here in Southern San Andreas Autos. Maybe because it isn't like a supercar. It's not super fast. But you cannot tell me that this thing doesn't look sick. Look at that. It is an absolute beauty. I love the color I went with. Yes, please. So how does it feel to drive? I would say it's not great, right? It's not an amazing car to drive. Obviously, most people that play GTA Online have really good cars so they can drive around the map. This is not one of them, but this is definitely... Look at it. I mean, this is gorgeous. If there was a car show, you know, there's a lot of car shows that happen online these days. I would definitely take this. I think it's gorgeous, and I would 100% own this thing in real life. Look at it. Tell me you wouldn't. All right, let's put it in and see how it stacks up against the rest. I think the reason it's maybe not in the legendaries is because it's not an M. Like, it definitely, you could tell it's not like a V8 or V12 as some of these cars are in this game. It's definitely not super powerful. But as far as looks are concerned, I think it looks gorgeous. It is pretty expensive, though, coming in at 1.6 million. So let's see. How much did this thing cost with the upgrades? So for those of you who want to build this thing yourself, the upgrades actually cost 313,000. So it is a little steep, but it's not crazy. But it's the price of this car that makes it insane, because the price is obviously 1.6. So after buying the car... Okay, that's what you want to look at, huh? No, stop. After buying this car, fully upgrading it, you're looking at just under 2 million. So 1.9 million. Just over that is the cost of this car right here if you wanted to do it yourself. But for that price, it is a little expensive. Like the Obey 10F that we have downstairs in the other garage, the red one, to put it into perspective, that came out to just under 1.3. That's like 1.6 million. Oh, sorry, 2. It was 2.6 million 90,000, I think that one was. So just under 2.7 million for that red Obey 10F. And this, so it's about 600 grand more than this. And I would definitely go for that over this. But this is cool. Anyway, let's move on to number 3. Ladies and gentlemen, in my number 3 slot, a lot of people are going to be confused by this, but if you saw my top 10 Benny's vehicles, my number 1 slot was the Banshee. And that's just a vehicle I've loved forever in GTA Online. It's the same thing for this, the Ubermacht Sentinel convertible. I have loved this vehicle since I started playing GTA 5. I used to love this thing. I think it's gorgeous. I think it drives well. So this is my number 3. Let's purchase it and see what it looks like. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, outside of our shop. And look at this. Just look at it. We're going to have to obviously do this thing up. But what an absolute cool car this is. I think it's sick. Like I say, I've loved this car since the beginning. I think it is beautiful. I think it drives fairly well. And just look at it. It's sick. Like every car in the game, you don't always want a car. It doesn't have to be the fastest car everywhere you go. But this thing, I would take this anywhere. I would use this as my daily driver. I think it's absolutely sick. I think it's beautiful. So let's go ahead, take it into our auto shop and see what we can do to it. So here she is, ladies and gentlemen, the before picture. What's it going to look like after? I have a few ideas in my head, so I'm going to put those, well, we're just going to see. So this is the before. And ladies and gentlemen, there we go. I didn't go too overboard or crazy on this one. I wanted it to just be fairly stock, which it is. I didn't really go overboard at all. This color is actually called Diamond Blue. I was originally going to go like an acid yellow, but we may save those for our top 2 vehicles here. But I like it. It's just like, it's beautiful. Let's see what it sounds like. Let's take it out. I love it. I think it's gorgeous. I think it's absolutely... I was going to do like a navy blue as well, but I don't know. That color, you see that one? I like that like acid yellow and black, but I don't know. I feel like this color suits the car. So here she is, ladies and gentlemen. Like I say, I have been in love with this car since it came out. Obviously, I've got to keep the top down on it. It's the convertible is what I love about it. I just think it's a good looking car. Like I say, this car has been in the game since GTA 5 come out. And look at it. It's just beautiful. Let's take it for a spin. Is it the best looking car in the game? No. But is it up there in my opinion? Yeah, I love it. But to each their own, right? I know not everyone's going to like this thing, but I love it. All right, so anyway, let's take this thing back. And while we're on our way back, I just wanted to remind you, keep in mind, these are Southern San Andreas Autos vehicles. These aren't Legendary Motorsport. Obviously, next week when we do the Legendary Motorsport, not only is it going to cost me an absolute arm and a leg, but those cars are going to be incredible. This is my top 10 personal favorite San Andreas Autos vehicles. Keep that in mind. And there she is, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know if anyone else has a soft spot for this car. I mean, that Reinhardt, look at this. I think that one turned out. That's probably the best looking car we've done so far, for sure. But anyway, let me know if you have a soft spot for this. If you want to build this thing yourself, it's only $95,000 to purchase. And then if you fully upgrade it, the full upgrades on it cost me $207, so it is a little bit more. So to purchase the car and upgrade it was $302,000. All right, guys, here we are. We've gone through from what? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. What is my number 2 and number 1? And in the number 2 spot, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think this is a surprise. I'm pretty sure people knew it was either going to be 1 or 2. The Declassi Vigero ZX or ZX. And here she is, the Declassi Vigero ZX, or like I say, ZX if you're from America. All right, this is what it looks like before. And ladies and gentlemen, here she is. So, you know what? I told you I was going to use that like acid yellow. It's called race yellow, actually, in this game. I wanted to just look like Bumblebee. You know what I mean? So we haven't gone too overboard. We got a lot of carbon on here. And this is what it looks like. So let's go ahead and take this thing out and see what it sounds like. Look at that. So here she is. First things first. Let's see what it sounds like on startup. Nothing too crazy, but look at that. It is... Oof. What a good looking car. The back's a bit meh. This kind of looks boring. But the front... What a bloody mean looking car this thing is. Look at that. All right, let's see what it sounds like. Yeah, look at it. It's my little Bumblebee. My little Bumblebee. Donuts galore. Let's take it up to our shop. Excuse me, sir. And there she is. All right, let's put her in. All right, there's Mrs. Bumblebee. So we've gone all the way down. Now we're at number 1. Let's do this. And here we are. Probably no shocker to anyone. The Bravado Buffalo STX. All right, here we go. Number 1, the Bravado Buffalo STX. The fastest muscle car in the game. And it's 4-door. So you can literally mob around with all your friends in this thing. And you are good to go. All right, let's get this thing customized and see what it looks like. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. In all honesty, I tried a few things on this and I felt like just blacking it out. Just black on black, blacked out windows, black wheels, black everything. It just looked better. Let's take this thing for a spin. Here she is, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, it's a beaut. I just love that murdered out look. Just black on black. It's the only thing I feel like this car needed. Obviously, you can make it if you want to go crazy. There's a lot of cool like vinyls and things you can put on this car. But I just think the black on black looks sick. Let's listen to what it sounds like. So one of my favorite things about this car is the supercharged whine. Listen to this. Do you guys hear that? Let's listen again. Hold on, wait till this car passes.
You still owe me money.
Will you be quiet for a second? That's it.
Did this bitch hang up on me?
You hear that little supercharged whine? Look at the size of the exhausts on the back of this thing we did as well. Okay. This thing's insane. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. My number 1 favorite car from San Andreas Autos. She's a beaut. Let's take her in and rank her amongst the rest. I love it. I love it. Black on black. That's all we could have done for this one. That's all we could have done. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. You know what? I don't like this white room now. It doesn't fit. Let's change it. That's much better. So there we have it, ladies and gents. Oh, that red looks good now, huh? Let's get to the beginning here. We can go over these one more time. Number 1, we have our little Mini Cooper. Then we have, I mean, this thing, it's all about Vice City for me, you know. The first time we see these cars, absolutely beautiful. The Hermes. Then we move on to the Dominator GTX. This thing's just beautiful. And I love the Stormtrooper look to it. I think it works out. The Vapid Ellie, again, just a really cool looking muscle car. Then I just really like this truck. Don't get me wrong. San Andreas Autos, there's a lot of vehicles in there. I'm sure a lot of you, especially like the tuner cars and things like that, like the Subarus, and you know, there's a lot of cool tuner cars in there, and I didn't choose any, unfortunately. But I just really like this. I think it looks sick. And then in number 5, we got the Tornado, which is just an absolute wild thing. This is probably my favorite. Just the way it came out, the customization on it. So the Reinhardt, this was 1.6 million and 313k to fully upgrade it. But I think out of all the ones we've customized, this is probably my favorite as far as looks are concerned. Then we have the Sentinel convertible. Again, I just absolutely love that car. Then we have Bumblebee over here, the Vigero ZX, I believe. And then this Badger, this Bravado Buffalo STX, fully blacked out. So this is my personal top 10 favorite cars that you can buy in, what's it called? Southern San Andreas Autos, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know in the comment section what your top 10 favorite vehicles are. Let me know which one of these are your favorite from my collection of my personal top 10. We've spent about 10 million here today, so we've spent a lot of money. I am not looking forward to the Legendary Motorsports top 10 because that thing is going to cost like 20 million or something ridiculous. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Please like if you did. I would appreciate it. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Turn on notifications, and I will see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video. Goodbye.